My name is Shashidhar Bhatt. I am running a startup in the new age environment. It's called Green Workforce. The theme is something on gig economy, or also is called as on demand economy. I am here to talk on cloud computing. Actually, this is also known as on demand computing. That is the relevance. On demand economy joining hands with on demand computing. You know, you all have enrolled for engineering. I did attend engineering at Mysore University, and most of the graduates, they look for jobs. I went to Bangalore for 10 years working on similar technology solutions. Then I moved to Delhi. Last 15 years I am in Delhi working on technology domain, again primarily giving solutions to small and medium businesses. I worked for niche technology companies, smaller companies. In a way, these are called as startups, and startups having innovative solutions work with corporates, giants, extending solutions to businesses. From those days where I attended computer science engineering from Mysore University, we were using mainframe computers. Mainframe computers were attached with number of terminals, and in the college laboratory, typical practical sessions, we used to work on those terminals, working on programming languages like BASIC, Fortran, Pascal, COBOL, then later Lisp and similar microcontrollers. All this were designed specifically where mini computers, mainframes were used as a shared resource among the number of users. Gradually, there is an evolution that these bigger computers were shrinked in size. With the advancement of Intel as a technology provider with their CPU, the chips, they have introduced personal computers. Personal computers become very popular. Personal computers started being deployed at many businesses at discrete solutions, discrete parts of the bigger business processes, but there was a need for connected environment. So, on one side, the mainframes, mini computers were connected to number of users, teams, the number of developers, the number of engineers in the organization environment. When it comes to the personal computer, these were all independent units of computing resources, and because of companies like Microsoft, who came with initially DOS as an operating system for these personal computers, later there is an evaluation of Windows systems. These personal computers were very good at the individual level, but when it comes to the organization environment, there is a need for interconnectivity. That is where IP networking, that is where companies like Cisco took the dominance in pushing the networking aspect. Prior to Cisco, there is a company called Novell. Novell networking was a very popular networking protocol, where many engineers have worked on it to bring it to a level. Whereas, when the IP networking, the Cisco dominated, even today 60% of marketplace is occupied by Cisco. Now, the networking was on one side, the individual computing was on other side. So, how do we bring the power of the number of computing powers, getting aggregated, getting combined to give a bigger power, better power for the organizations to exploit the technology in the real sense for the business advantage. Actually, when it comes to the debate on who invented cloud computing, when was it started, cloud computing is as old as the internet. There are the research documents dated back to 1960s, where the people have described cloud computing in a different sense. Then probably in 1986 CompuServe used this terminology to offer the shared resources on the net, on the internet, having the cloud computing as a principle. However, just like any other technologies which emerge, they do not emerge overnight. Instead, gradually there will be push on one side, the technology keeps developing, getting enhanced, the contributors of the respective players in that domain play a very significant role, but technology alone is not the key factor. Instead, the market dynamics, the marketers, the research people and the consortium of those companies who are focusing on specific technology, when they come together, then actual evaluation starts. That is how the cloud computing probably started during 2006, when Amazon, being a e-commerce company, started using some technology. Then they said, why not we offer this technology to extend it to the world, wherein as a digital offering to the world, they have something on the cloud. So, from 2006 onwards, Amazon is active, pushing, constantly upgrading, enhancing the offerings to the marketplace. Then the players like IBM, they have decades of legacy of contributing to the computing world. They said, hey, we have already working on it, but may not be using the same terminology or the same push in the market. However, they also package and they followed. In between, Microsoft came, Microsoft talked about cloud computing in the name of Microsoft Azure. Same way Google cloud computing. Now, all of them, the major players like Amazon Web Services, IBM Cloud, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, Oracle, Alibaba Cloud, all are there. It is become kind of a matured offering in today's scenario, because it is almost 15 years to 20 years of a window, wherein just like any other technology development, this has taken a shape. But the basic principle, what is that precisely happen is that if you look into this slide, we have the infrastructures, the business houses having the computing infrastructure. Computing infrastructure needs network support, they need a storage support. The infrastructure part, when the business started using for their workflow applications, for their communication applications, for their distributed architecture, actually the dynamics of technology, the dynamics of business demanded that they went on upgrading it from time to time. The computing powers, it was always hungry for more computing powers. Same way the data started exponentially growing, from all sources, the data started coming in, the data being captured, the data being used in diverse environment. That is where the data is become a very critical growing factor. Same way, the network is become a bottleneck. As the data started growing, the existing pipe, existing tunnel of this networking, the connectivity and extending the connectivity to the suppliers, the vendors, to the outsiders within the organization, to the employees, that has become a critical infrastructure. The companies who were tech savvy, they realized the need for upgradation of technology. They went on upgrading this part continuously. However, there were certain issues when they want to use this infrastructure for their platforms, be it a proprietary or open source platforms to run the applications. So, applications basically many companies started with communication as a tool to start with. Email system was the first among the IT to be adopted, internet and email. So, once the email system is stable, then they thought of collaboration, then they thought of sharing the contents. When everybody is starting on these aspects, the monitoring was a need, extended to various departments, finance, marketing, manufacturing, etc. So, the base infrastructure was some sort of a concern to the organizations, that somewhere there was a pain of upgrading it every now and then, and there is something like obsolescence. The older systems were getting obsolete very quickly, leaving some kind of a business loss it is. So, that pain and the demand for upgradations and other similar challenges demanded these companies to look for newer solutions, and vendors proactively acted on it, understanding the situation. That is where the concept like cloud computing started. Why at all? Why at all we should have on premises infrastructure? Since the websites, the hosting, email hosting were already familiar to the organizations, why not extend the business applications, the legacy, the process automations are put into the hosting? Yes, it was done. The transformation was that gradually people, the organizations including the government departments started moving on to the hosted model. Now, hosted model had its own limitations, because when you are hosting on a specific data center, the natural calamities and there are certain disruptions, dependency on specific vendors, specific environment were very critical, and there were instances of losing huge amount of data, leading to business losses, especially in the industries like financial services. There was a very significant business loss. Realizing this, once you are bitten, you always take precautionaries, improve upon that, and based on these experiences, then they thought, why not distribute the availability of such hosting facilities. So, that is where the concept came, where data should not be in one location, data should be distributed across different regions. They call it as regions and availability zones. So, the organizations who were using the hosting solutions, hosting facilities were given an option to choose which region you want to have the data, which are the availability zones you prefer, not only from the business perspective, also from the compliance perspective. So, let us understand how all these have moved to, I call that the whole world is moving to the cloud computing now. What is that precisely? As it is written here, cloud computing, also known as on demand computing services, has gained widespread use in the last 15 years. This is been told already, and users have accompanied society's transition into digital native 21st century. Those who had establishment prior to 2000, prior to that .com burst, they call it as, it was a different culture. Today it is called as digital native 21st century because most of the new entrants are so familiar with these technology pieces, the digital arena, wherein it is very comfortable for them to transform, very easy to switch to the cloud model. It is becoming more and more difficult for individuals, organizations and governments to keep all of their vital information, programs and systems up and running on premises computing facilities. This solution around this was, as I said, it was there as old as the internet era, but it has gained widespread application in the recent years. So, this is the critical point. Now, what happened? Cloud computing is offered by everyone. It brings definite advantages to the organizations who use, it brings advantages to the developers, it brings advantages to the end users. What is it? In simplest case, all of you are using Gmail as a default email service. Probably it is because it is given free. Google could offer this email service because of the cloud infrastructure, because of the digital infrastructure. Gmail along with tons of other Google offerings are available on cloud. The end users who use YouTube, who use Gmail, who use Google search are all so comfortable to use that. So, this is the end user benefit. They are not dependent on any specific piece of software installed in their desktop or laptop to do that. Instead, it comes from the internet. All that they need is a good internet connectivity. Same thing for the developers, 100 people company, 200 people company, 10,000 employees company, all of them work on IT projects. They pick up client projects and they run their business by executing these projects. Each project has its own dynamics. The client's expectations are different from project to project. When this is the case, what happened is that the requirement for adopting the cloud computing from the user's perspective, from the developer's perspective, from the organizations who actually buy such services from their perspective, the complexities started increasing. That is where they went on using or working further in bringing the latest offerings. One is the hybrid cloud solutions, public cloud versus private cloud versus hybrid cloud. What to keep on the public cloud, where because of the abstraction you do not know where your data is lying. You have signed an agreement, you have signed a contract with the vendor that this is the quantum of data, these are the computing power, this is the storage, this is the networking what you are hiring from the cloud, and you are paying on demand. That was the contract. Rest is not at all a concern for you, you are not bothered. Their upgradation, their licensing, their availability, disaster management, nothing is a concern for you. This was kind of a public cloud offering. Certain organizations where data is very critical, they said we need to safeguard our data, we are not okay to keep our data somewhere in the public cloud, we do not know its actual usage if somebody abuses in between. They talked about private cloud, establishing similar cloud environment for their own use, restricted use, private cloud came into existence. Then what happened is the hybrid model, keep only the critical data in the private cloud and rest is into the public cloud. So, that leads to something called hybrid cloud solutions. Obviously, backup and DR is the concern which has been addressed in the newer versions. Evolution of cloud services and solutions. Today, we are talking about more than 100, 200 services from all these vendors. It is not just about the basic computing, instead all the emerging technologies including artificial intelligence, your blockchain, your IoT, and now the cloud computing, the quantum computing are all the part of the emerging technologies. Then the automation will play an important role in simplifying cloud architecture, because so do we at all have to depend upon certified professionals to manage this? Earlier we used to have some talent in house and control our IT infrastructure, IT applications. By moving to the cloud, do we go for outsourced, do we go for external talent to manage this? So, that is where the automation came into picture. Even the layman can take the cloud account, start using it and automate the solutions with a little bit of external assistance, they are good to go. Then the data security, data privacy, especially the European GDPR has put certain guidelines for the data handling, and these are the emerging technologies. With this, the benefits, specifically if you look into the bigger scenario, these are the things which is translated to the cloud computing benefits: the cost saving, security, flexibility, mobility, insights, deeper insights into the operations, data, the process. Then smaller teams working at different geolocations for collaboration, quality control, disaster recovery in case of any kind of disruption, how to get back the data quickly as early as possible. So, data recovery, loss prevention, software updates, then the competitive edge. Once you have adopted the technology and you are the first mover, you are ahead of the rest of the competition, the competitive advantage was there. Then the sustainability, this is the way the business can grow and business can continue by moving into the cloud computing. Of course, the terms like containers, serverless computing, microservices, DevOps, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence and quantum computing are changing the way with which the business processes, changing the way with which workspaces, work styles and the workforce is used, is put into productivity. So, these are actual directions where emerging technologies are coming into play. Major players of cloud computing, cloud offerings are IBM Cloud, IBM, Amazon, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft, OpenStack, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle and many more. There are many such players. So, in the coming video, we would like to explain each of these players, what do they bring to the table, and from the developers perspective, from the users perspective, from the organization perspective, which is good for us and which may not be, will be discussed. Thank you.